Hey, Charles Morgan, Kerry McCoy, thank you so much for coming to see me.
Nice to see you.
I've been reading and learning all about you.
You're fascinating yourself.
Aww. Charming. Let's talk about the names. Acxiom is a great name, and it means true.
Yeah.
To be true. A truth. You spelled it a little different.
Absolutely.
Was that your idea to name it Acxiom?
Well, no, it wasn't actually. We hired an ad agency.
Why do all presidents of companies give the credit away to somebody else?
You know what? That kind of stuff is not. I have a lot of people that work for me who are good at it, and
so you really didn't name it. Somebody else named it.
Look, one of the first products that I gave a name to at Acxiom was called Demo Dupe. So you see why they don't.
Yeah.
You see why they don't let me.
That sounds like a body function. I don't like that at all.
That was the other one. The other one that I named was the list order fulfillment system.
Oh yeah, it bores me to death. Acxiom is the best name.
And to be completely frank with you, one of my frustrations, with Acxiom, was when it gets to be 7,000 people. I said it's like herding cats. Now you have to deal with board members and Sarbanes-Oxley and the accountants and the lawyers, and to send shareholder lawsuits and proxy battles and just all the CRAP you have to deal with.
CRAP. You mean crap? Did he say crap, or did he spell carp?
Well, that's another conversation for another time. I'd stupidly brought in some, the guy who ran the PE firm that embarked on the proxy battle against us, the investor, and he had.
You brought the enemy into the camp.
Is
that the way to say it?
You know what? It is, but he came to me, the head of the firm came to me and said, flew into Little Rock, and I met in Bill Dillard's hangar with him privately, a big secret meeting, and he said, you beat me. And my career is destroyed if I can't save a little face. And I hate to say it, but he was the biggest lying SOB. If you can't trust people, this guy's a Jeffrey Ubben. He's a piece unto himself. But anyhow, I let him in. And
why did he say you beat me?
Well, because it was proxy battle. We had a proxy battle.
So the Dillards were battling you in the
No, the Dillards, it was their hangar. We were secretly, I just borrowed Dillard's hangar.
Oh, okay.
So nobody would see us. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It was another gentleman in the Dillard's hangar.
Dillard was on our board, and I asked him if I could borrow his hangar.
I gotcha.
To meet with this guy's office in the hangar, out of the way of all prying eyes. And, the guy flew in, begged me to, he said, I'll give up all claims, everything. Let me come on your board for 6 months, and then I'll just, resign after 6 months. Well, he lied about that.
Got on the board and began to undermine the culture of the board, probably.
Well, he undermined the culture, and he started bringing in, influenced the board to bring in some other outside, consultants. Anyhow, so the long story short is, quite honestly, I was not in the mood to put up a lot of CRAP again. And
carp.
So we got in a bit of a fight, and he actually fomented a palace coup on me. And
what the heck?
Yeah. And it was just.
So you were into forced retirement.
Yeah.
It was ugly. You have a big heart. Anybody that knows you, you are an open book. You took this guy in. You let him on the board.
They let me hire my replacement, though.
Oh, did you like him? In case they're just tuning in, that you're listening to Up in Your Business with me, Kerry McCoy, and I'm speaking today with author, visionary, and risk taker, Mr. Charles Morgan, founder of Acxiom and current CEO of his company, the First Orion. So, did I say it right?
No.
Orion.
Oh, I said it wrong again. Sorry. Well, it's like Orion's belt. I don't know why I can't remember that.
You have to coach mothers, don't you?
It's a family
full-time
affair.
job.
It's a full-time job. Orion's belt. I should be able to remember that because it's another great name because it's a great constellation. He's a warrior. You didn't name that either, I guess.
No.
So how did, no, of course not. It'd be named Dumpy's Belt or something.
Exactly.
So now, are you trying to teach people to take risks, or what are you trying to teach
No,
them?
I think calculated risk. I want you to risk, but I want you to take very calculated risk. Don't bet the farm.
You did. You have.
I've tried to calculate my risk, but occasionally you get over your skis a little too far. And when you get over your skis a little too far, and things around you are circumstances like a recession or a financial crisis or something that's out of your control, might come along. But they didn't take me down. They just got me,
One of the things that I think I ask everybody when they call me and they ask me for business advice, which is one of the reasons I started this radio show, is to pay forward kind of what we've been talking about today, is I say, let's go ahead and jump to the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And if you and tell me what you think the worst thing is that could happen out of your risk you're about to take. And when they tell me, then I say, can you live with that?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, then I say, go ahead,
for it.
jump.
I say, don't ever do anything. Look, if you're doing something, seriously entrepreneurial, don't get so deep into it that it's going to ruin your life. In other words, if you could afford to lose this money, you can afford to lose the relationships that you might lose if you get all your family and friends into something, then go ahead, but assume it's going to fail, or assume, terrible.
Look at the worst case scenario.
I always do that. Yeah, and often people go, well, that'll never happen. I say, well, we've had a Great Depression, and you might have a tornado come through. You might have, another, economic upset. You could be in California, you have an earthquake, and takes your building out.
You said though that somewhere I read you said that if the leader of the company is not looking to the future and investing in the future, that they're not going to be in business for very long.
That's right.
So you were doing that, but occasionally it sounds like the risk and bet into the future was not always. It did not always work out perfectly, but you still have to do it.
It never does. I mean, every company has a lot of twists and turns. You can have the greatest entrepreneurial idea in the world, and you can decide you're gonna do banners, and it turns out flags are a better business.
What's the next big thing?
Well, it's really interesting, but the real next big thing is the thing that we're working on right now. It's for scam calls, but nobody answers their phone right now because they don't know who's calling. And even if we get rid of scam calls, people are not used to answering the phone. But if your phone lights up, the whole screen lights up and said, this is a certified call from your bank, American Express, you will answer that call.
So you want to do caller ID? That's basically caller ID for everybody?
But it's a caller ID that is why they are calling. If you're getting a call from Home Depot, wouldn't it really be nice if it says, your Home Depot delivery man is calling, are you there for me? And the whole thing's on the front screen. It's a message, sends you a message. And all you have to do is say, yes, I'm ready.
Well, aren't they doing that with text right now? I mean, we are doing that
with the call. With the call company. People don't answer text for hours sometimes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because they ask you want to call, you want to text, and I want to text.
Yeah, that's fine. You want to text, but if you don't see your text, and the thing is, there are so many things that are immediate. It's like if your account has been compromised at the bank, and they want to see if that's a real charge, they start calling you, texting you, and emailing you. It would really be nice if they could just light your screen up and say, guess what? Did you make this charge at Lowe's? At Lowe's, and you'd say yes.
Thank you again for coming to see me, coming to talk to everybody.